Welcome back to the show,
Yo, yo.
LFX Media. We are on YouTube. We're on lfxmedia.live. Subscribe, tune in, introduce yourselves, fellas. Starting
It's
at
your
the
boy. It's your boy, Anthony, man. Y'all know the good brother of the Good Brother Sports Podcast, Good Brother Pods, man. Also find me here at LFX Media Pods. Tap in.
And you already know what it is. 10th wonder of the world, J-Pad, the juggernaut, the custom beat king.
wow. So I'm gonna go counterclockwise from my screen, and I just wanna just go right to the elephant in the room. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna start at the bottom. My 6 o'clock is Antho the Great. I need
Yes,
you
sir.
to I need you to speak on the relaunch of the Good Brother Sports Network.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Just first of all, glad everybody that's listening, that's tuning in. I appreciate y'all coming out. No doubt about that. Secondly, yeah, the Good Brother Sports Pods, man, we're gonna be re-releasing, relaunching it. We're trying to give y'all a little bit more intimate look at exactly how we feel, how we dissect sports, the way that we digest it, the way that we see it, and give you it from a different perspective. And shoot, if you feel different or you feel the same, want y'all to feel compelled and feel free to come on in and express how you feel, talk to us, tell us if we stupid, tell us if you think we geniuses. Let us know all of that, man. I'm looking forward to it. Gonna be a lot more interactive. It's something that as y'all know, if y'all follow us, we usually lump our sports in with a lot of our other content. But because sports is something I'm very passionate about, it's just something that we decided we're gonna give y'all a little bit of isolation of it so that when you come there, you know what you're here to digest. We're going to give you all sports. We're going to give you a lot of Houston-based content. We're going to give you a lot of league-wide content. So definitely look forward to it, man. It won't be long at all. You probably really, what's today? You could be looking for the first official relaunch of the Good Brother Sports Pod within the next week for sure. So y'all be on the lookout for that, man. I'm excited. Want y'all to come in and help us, make it great.
For sure. Give us a taste of what you've been diving into lately as what pertains to Good Brother Sports. Just give us a little,
Mm,
NBA draft
mm,
experience. Give us a little
mm.
something.
Yeah, recently here in Houston in particular, it's a very exciting time for the young sports teams, man. We got if you're following football at all, we showed out in the draft this year. We drafted CJ Stroud with the second overall pick, then shocked the world by trading back up to the third spot so that we could go ahead and go get our boy for the defensive side as well, Anderson. So, it's hey, man, it's a great time for that, and we all know the new man at the lead, D'Amico. We've been keeping close tabs on all of the moves going on there within the coaching ranks, within the personnel ranks. Loving every report that's coming out of Texans camp right now. From the vets that love the way that CJ is handling himself as a lead. So we'll be touching on that a lot to see, exactly how everybody here in the city may be feeling about it. A lot of low times as far as the primary two sports in the city go, as far as football, basketball. I can't even really say primary because baseball is real hot out here too. So just the two big ones being basketball and football. Been a low time recently. You know what I'm saying? So it's just exciting to see both franchises having such young talent. And we also, as recently on the basketball side, we were all at the Houston Rockets actually official draft party.
Right, right.
Well, we got some good footage of that. Y'all can go check out on the website. Go check out on the YouTube. You'll see us. You'll actually see me at the end of it, turned up when we got Cam Whitmore. That's me. I'm hyped up because we
Yeah.
got definite steal at 20 this year with Cam. And you're
Yeah.
already seeing it pay dividends in summer league. If you're familiar, if anybody have been keeping up with summer league, they killing it right now. Looking like, yes, indeed, my brother. Yeah, looking real good. I'm loving what I'm seeing from him. Can't wait to see what Ime does. So, and we'll be right there the whole way, giving y'all step by step look at exactly
Hmm.
how it's going, how they developing, and can't wait to see how y'all feel about it. Come back in here and chop it up with all y'all, and we can see how we feel as a unit.
For
So
sure.
definitely be excited, man. Be excited with me.
For sure, for sure. And before we go into some breaking news from J-Pad the Juggernaut, we got some breaking news. Let me see if I could give him the proper intro, because I believe is this one going to the moon from what I heard.
Hey.
Hello, I'm meteorologist Cheetah Craft. Let's check in with our Expedition 11 crew on the International Space Station. What's it like up there?
Hi, Cheetah. The views from the space station are awesome. I can see the Earth, the amazing sunrises. Back to you, Cheetah.
Great, thanks for the update. Remember, KHOU 11 keeps you weather smart.
Yes, sir. Now listen.
Yo,
We got some breaking news. J-Pad the Juggernaut has a single that he has released. And man, somebody poked the bear. Let's go. Let's go.
Lord have mercy, who awakened the beast. Yes, the new single is called Tyrant, and obviously it is an ode to lyrical excellence, lyrical expression. One of the things that I know a hip hop record hasn't really had in quite some time, and that's always been my lane. So Tyrant is basically just like how you would explain the word juggernaut. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't know. They think that I'm getting it from the Marvel Comics character, but no, juggernaut is actually a word in the dictionary, and it means anything that crushes and destroys anything in the pathway. And I go and explain the definition of what a tyrant is, you know, and I intended to be, you know, cruel. I intended to be lyrically devastating on this particular track. And then the instrumental itself, I had been brewing up on it for a minute. You know what I mean? Like the instrumental was built. It has like this rich like slap you in the face type sample. And I was able to chop it, put it together, man. And man, as soon as it hit the airwaves, you know what I'm saying? Because this is the type of record where you have a song where there's no chorus. It's no chorus. I just rapped for like three plus odd minutes. It was nothing but, you know, just lyrics back to back to back to back to back. And so, you know, the reception of that was tremendous. It was so tremendous that I decided to push the release date up and give it no release date and just put it out immediately. And so it's out there on the platforms now. You can get it on pretty much all of the platforms within the week. But right now, you know, you can go on to YouTube Music, search J-Pad the Juggernaut Topic, and the record will pop up there. It is live on Spotify. It's live on Spotify as we speak. And yeah, we're going with a full course campaign. I already just hired a videographer to shoot the visual for the record. And if anybody's seen the cover kind of like explains a lot about the record itself. You know what I'm saying? It's almost kind of like my face melted in with a skull. And that was kind of like the whole entire imagery that I was going for. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like me sending a message, letting people know that, yeah, I make beats, but I'm pretty lethal on the microphone as well. You know what I mean? So big shout out to everybody that has tapped into the record and listened to it and gave me the excellent feedback that it has gotten. I mean, fellas, I haven't gotten a response back that wasn't short of, man, you killed it. You know what I mean? And so I greatly appreciate that. You know, oh man, listen, every single last one of them, every single last one of them. And it was like, you know, it was kind of vindicating for me because I've always really wanted to sink into my artistry and really do something to make people inspired. You know what I'm saying? I was getting inboxes of people sending me lyrics saying, man, what do you think of this, Pad? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, type of inspiration like that. And or saying, yo, we got to get together and we got to collaborate. I actually got booked on a show that I performed live on a Friday night, just based off of people hearing the record. So I think we got one, fellas. I think we got one, and we're going full campaign with this. I don't even know when I'm going to stop pushing that record. I think that record is going to get pushed for quite some time. And it's one of the things that I practice. I tell people to practice with a lot of the records that are out there, because if you're not on the radar, right, you put out a record that you really feel good about. The mistake that I see a lot of people make is they tend to run away from that record a little bit too fast, because we have to realize in this day and age, the world is too big for us to sit back and act like everybody heard the record in 2 months. You know, one thing I do remember from some, you know, of course I DJ, I do all this other stuff. And one thing I know about being a DJ is breaking records, right? Well, I remember back in the day when Gucci Mane had that one record, Go Ahead. Y'all remember that song?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. It did not hit. I had one of the test pressers of the song, and I started playing it. And then I'd say 2 years later, it took about roughly 2 years. You know what I mean? 2 years later, everybody in the world heard that record, and it was a club staple. You know what I mean? It was a club staple. So it just goes to show you that you got to stay down. When you have a record that you believe in, y'all got to stay in there, stick with it, put a full onslaught campaign on that record. In this day and age, you don't have to necessarily have to have an album to be successful in the music business. All it takes is one record. All it takes is one. And I feel like Tyrant is the one that's kind of going to define my career pretty much from here on out.
Okay. I love to hear, bro. I can't wait.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And anybody that wants to hear it, come tomorrow. The link for the record, and to be able to stream it, play it, whatever you want to do, it'll be sitting right there on custombeatking.com, which is the website. And just like the other guys, you know, we all got websites, and our websites are interactive. You know, there's multimedia on them. There's merchandise on them. There's all kind of goodies on there. You know what I mean? So make sure you guys are tapping into everybody's website, custombeatking.com, the sports podcast, and LFX Media.live.
Without a doubt, I was just dropping. Oh man, I dropped.
Oh, by the way, did you hear the song, Podge? You heard it, right?
Of course.
Not Eat King, bro.
Not the Eat King.
Right.
The Custom Eat King.
Right.
Yes, I do like to eat, but you know, lately it's been nothing but plants and plant-based things, and the challenge is going well. For those who didn't get updated for what I was doing, from July 1st all the way to January, it is no meat, no dairy, and no seafood. And so it's been a challenge. It's been a heck of a challenge in the first couple of weeks, just reporting in on that. So far, so good. So far, so good. I've actually been able to replace pretty much everything that I thought that I was going to miss. And I was able to replace it with something that actually gets me excited about the next chapter of what's going on. Weight is already dropping off. As you can see, these shirts are getting pretty big. So it's like I need to slow down a little bit, man, before I have to go to the store and buy some more clothes.
No, you just gotta go drop a little bit of that Custom Beat King bag on some new threads. It's all
that's
good,
all.
As
a matter of fact, that's going to be my plan, because we're going to retool for the fall with the merchandise. I'm glad you said that. The merchandise is going to have a facelift, hopefully by the fall, if not the winter time. So right now it's under construction, and it's not available on the website at this particular moment, but we do have products such as this one right here.
Bro, is it Beat Kings or Beat King?
Beat King.
Okay.
Custom, all one word, custombeatking.com.
Okay.
And this is one of the products that is available or will be available. This is the M-Sole. This is the M-Sole. And let me tell you something. I performed in these the other night. And as you can see, the logo is nice and bold on there. It's on the tongue right there too as well.
Yes, sir. This
is a very quality shoe. This shoe is light.
Match my low.
Yeah, it's light. And as you can see, the tread is real nice on these. These are some really, really cool shoes. You know what I mean? And I can't stress enough the comfort of the shoe. The comfort of the shoe, because it's like a blend. This is like a canvas. This is like a canvas top. You know what I'm saying? But then it has this M-Sole. And I don't know what this technology is right here, this M-Sole thing. But man, let me tell you, it's almost like how we first used to feel when we had the Air Max. You know, like it gave you a feeling like that, but it actually is a little bit more enhanced because the sole itself actually is outside of the circumference of your foot. So I did that on purpose because I wanted people to have an option, you know what I'm saying, of a type of shoe that they would be interested in wearing. You know what I mean? And I also was just looking to upgrade because my first edition of the shoe was looking like a Chuck. It looked like a Chuck Taylor. You know what I mean? But it was very comfortable. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, big ups to the first edition of the shoe. But then I found some shoes that really had a comfort zone behind them. Because I know me, when I like to walk around, I want to walk around like where it feels like I'm stepping on, you know, cushions every single time that I'm walking. So yeah, so that's the insole. So the products like that, you know, the bucket hats, the watches will be back. We're going to redress and upgrade the, you know, the look of the merchandise store, and just stay tuned. There may be a couple of surprise products in there as well.
For sure. I absolutely want to shout out my guy, PAID.
Oh yeah,
Deron.
yes indeed.
He in the mix. Ain't he in the city with you, bro?
He does. He comes here from time to time. I'm not sure if he's in here full time, but yeah, we've connected and we tried to do some business not too long ago, about a year or two ago.
For sure.
Yeah.
Shout out to PAID.
Yeah, PAID. Yeah, it's definitely a brand that is well recognized in the Pittsburgh area. Sure.
Yeah, and shout out all the hometown guys. Third Official, my little cuz. Corner Boy Fashion. You know, Lee just got a store in the mall. I'm shout them all out, bro. Get that paper, you know.
That's right.
When you go on Walmart,
if that's your thing, continue to drive through with it, because this is an age and a time where we all can have. You know, we don't have to say we want no more. We can actually have it, y'all. And I say take the bull by the horns and get yourself some merch and get right into it.
Yes, sir. Let's get to it and stick to it.
That part.
Yes, sir. So you know what? Initially, when we was in the stew, me and Antho, I had threw on my Lakers hat. And disclaimer, I'm not a Lakers fan, but you know.
Yeah, we know that. We know that from the rip.
Magic is my favorite player. You know, I rock, you know, James Worthy, Showtime, all of that. But, you know, there was a question thrown around. Do you remember the question, Antho? It was
I think it was some I know it was them asking about the was it the post that I had showed you? If Bron won the championship this year, would it be the most impressive feat in basketball? Something like that. Was it that question?
Where does a LeBron James statue belong?
Yeah, that's what it was.
This is off the official Very Blunt Sports podcast. Friend of the show. He's been on here twice. We had good numbers. Yes, sir. That's Tay Adams' podcast. Yeah, that was the question. Where should they put LeBron James statue? And I said in Cleveland, in LA, and in Miami, because he got rings in all three places. So then further someone commented and said, well, how about Big Shot Ori? Is he going to get a statue in every city, all 7 of the cities? And what was your answer, brother Antho the Great?
I remember when I first heard it, I was like, see, this is the type of stuff that rubs me the wrong way sometimes. Like, listen.
No, you was right. It was the shit.
Yeah. You see me trying to catch myself. I try to keep it correct.
You try to keep it clean.
Try to be correct with it, because I do respect everybody's opinion on who they feel the GOAT is.
Shout out to my fam. I'm not gonna mention his name, but go ahead.
Yeah. My question was this: like, my response to that was just mentioning somebody like Robert Horry with LeBron when you're talking about that. LeBron didn't just roll the dice with who he just chose to go to in off season and just happen to land on teams and be a role player in pursuit of a championship. That's not how it went. It never went that way. Wherever he went, a championship followed, and it followed because he was the primary cog to every operation that he's been a part of. He's been the go-to, and so you can't even begin to like bring up a Robert Ory when you talk about that. Now, as far as where would the trophy or where would the statue, so to speak, belong if we're talking about LeBron, I agree with you, bro. It could go everywhere, especially if you get another one in LA, because I mean, shoot, you would have two. You would have broken the record in the LA jersey for all-time scoring. You would have gotten 2 finals MVPs, 2 finals championships if he gets another one. I don't see a reason. I mean, all due respect to Kobe, that would equate what Kobe achieved individually as the primary, 2 without Shaq. LeBron would do that in the twilight of his career, which would be, like I said, they spoke on to just to add on to it. They spoke on first things first. I sent you a little stat that they had pulled up, bro, where they said in year 21, right? All players in history in year 21, the historic numbers that year 21 seasons would have accomplished, right? So the best year 21 season, I know I already showed you, P. Pat, if you had to say who had the best year 21 that you can remember, I don't want to spoil it for you if you maybe you already know, but who you got? Who you think had the best 21st NBA season?
Well, there was only so many people that were able to sustain a 20-some-odd year career.
Right.
So that being the case, no, my first pick would be LeBron because of his sustainability and his ability to still be a threat on the floor, even in this stage of his career. He's not done.
Right.
Not by a long shot. I think if he starts scoring 10 points a game, then maybe he's done.
Right. But and I'm glad you said that number, bro. I'm glad you chose to say even if he starts scoring 10 points, right? Do you know what he would rank if he scored 10, which sounds crazy, right? LeBron dropped like 6 points. But let's say he did make that dramatic drop and became only a 10-point per game scorer. Do you know what he would rank in the history of 21st seasons?
Oh, easily.
It will still be the best.
It's just a number one.
It will be by
it's a number one across the board, and I say that all the time, even though it's going to be debatable, and everybody's going to make it a debate. LeBron unfairly, in my personal opinion, is going to be debated even well after he is done playing basketball. There's going to be people that he's been vilified, he's been celebrated. He's been everything that you can be for a professional athlete without even dealing with the scandals that some things have happened, or railroads that happened to some of these great players. Like the stigma on Barkley, the stigma on Jordan, the stigma on Magic, the stigma on those things never, fortunately for him, never really came across his pathway, and he's highly fortunate. He's highly blessed for that, and I just think that really at the end of the day, I'm going to go off the grain and say that his statue should be in his hometown and not at an arena. It should just be a huge statue. I'm talking about a statue almost as big as, not as big as the Statue of Liberty, but big enough to where when you come into the town square,
have a walk in with an elevator.
What would be dope about it is it would have his uniform split into 3. It would be a part of the uniform would be the Lakers, a part of the uniform would be Cleveland, and a part of the uniform would be Miami.
I like that, bro. I like that idea for sure.
Yeah, that's
Like I
solid.
say, I have no complaint of it. I'm just saying anybody that says it's blasphemy, wherever you decide to put them, just know right now, just to go and answer my own question, this is LeBron's 21st season in the league. He's about to start.
Mm-hmm.
The previous most points per game scored in the 21st season was by none other than Vince Sanity. Vince Carter averaged a whopping 7.4 points in his 21st season. So if LeBron goes out and averages 10, like we spoke on, if he falls off completely and only gives you 10 points a night, he will still be the best 21st season that you've ever seen by a long shot.
Yeah, and still, we tip our cap to Vince because
Without
he was
question,
a role
loved
player.
Vince Carter all the
Yeah,
way to the
at the end
left.
of his career, he ended up being a role player, which is, in my opinion, kind of crazy because he could have easily started for the Hawks. He could have started for a couple of the teams that he played on later in his career, the Kings, whoever else that he played for, easily to me. I'm not saying that his body would be able to hold up to the wear
And
and
I
tear.
think that's more so of what it became late in his career. Like his
Yeah, it was
skill
his
set,
body
because
was
he
just
was
not able
so
to
uber
sustain the
athletic.
wear and tear. That's all.
Yeah, he
That's
was
all.
uber
But even
athletic.
still,
He had
even
great
still, he would come
understanding.
off the bench and he would produce. And
Right.
just to put 7 points up on a team when you get limited minutes, saying a lot. You know what I mean? But LeBron is in a whole nother stratosphere with his career, and I really believe that he's already rewritten all the chapters that he could possibly rewrite.
Right.
Like it or not, stat man is the stat man, and the stat man says there ain't no other stats that are better than LeBron's in a lot of categories. It's not just scoring. It's it could be assists. He's
Only
very high
player
on.
in the NBA in the top 10 in rebounds, assists, and points. Nobody else is even top 10.
Exactly. So that means that
Nobody
like him, don't like him. He has had the most lucrative or most successful, in my opinion, individual career in the history of the NBA.
That is a crazy stat right there. I'm gonna leave right there before I drop the conversation. He's already the only player top 10 in points, rebounds, and assists, and he is potentially gonna be able to retire the only person top 5 in points, rebounds, and assists, and nobody else would even be top 10.
And most years in the league. Yeah.
Yeah, he could take that too.
On top of that, you might as well throw that on top, like Superfly Snooker. You might as well throw that stat on top of it as well. He's going to go into uncharted water in 2 seasons. He's already in uncharted water in a lot of ways, but by the time he suits up again, not this season, but the following one, that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. All he has to do is play that season, and regardless of what his stats are or whatever he does or how he contributes to basketball, he will have outdone and outlasted everyone.
Which is crazy again. So
Absolutely. And as we drop this, yes, sir, as we drop this conversation, I will pick it up and take us right into what we came for. We usually give y'all about a 30-minute warm up. Sometimes we do it in a stew. Sometimes we do it live in action so you can see us how we move. You know what I'm saying? We are the content kings. I will do a disclaimer. We're talking about the real on podcasting. And when we say we want all the smoke with any podcaster, guys, don't take it personal. I mean, we're just the content kings.
That's
So
it.
let's move on with the show. So
Right.
I posted, let me see, about an hour ago, I posted maybe a little bit more, name your top 3 podcasts, and we're talking about the real on podcast. And, you see what I did with that, the real on podcasting?
I see
So
how you did that, bro.
you see how I did that? So not only catching keywords on reels, but just breaking down what podcasting really is about. Do you see what I did with that too?
Really, I really see it.
You really see it, but there's misconceptions about people will get on podcasts and just bumping their gums,
Right.
and that's fine. Someone's going to listen to that, but for the most
Yes,
part,
they are listening.
if you have a mission, you have content, it's your duty to every podcast you do, someone leave your podcast saying, I learned something. That's something that I did not know. So that's what we're here for, you know?
Exactly. And
Pop it.
just to
Go ahead.
just to put some logistics into what it is that we're talking about today, you know, Statman is in the building.
Yes, sir.
We're going to go over some of the key things about podcasting and why it's so important and why it's now a fixture in today's society. And like it or not, it's going nowhere, and it's going nothing but up. According to the numbers, podcasts hit an all-time high in 2023. That's number one. Number two, alongside reach, time spent listening to podcasts is up 2 times more in the past 5 years. There are now more weekly podcast listeners than in the US than Netflix subscribers. That's another interesting statistic. Next, heavy podcast listeners are the majority now. They're the new majority, you know, and that's saying that's speaking volumes. It says here 61% consider podcast listening a part of their daily routine. And these are all stats that we're pulling up here from a website called podnews.net. Podnews.net. Okay. In the last 2 years, the number of Black and Hispanic podcast listeners have jumped over 30%. It says, let's see here. We got our top 3 reasons to listen, which is they're entertained, number 1. Number 2, discovering something new, just like Podgy said. Number 3, be in the know, you know, and those are the key things. For this generation, which is considered Generation Z, it is all about companionship, and they consider podcasts a companionship to their generation. And for millennials, it's about being productive. So we have those stats, and I'll give you one more here. Just to close it out, a majority of radio listening happenings. Let me say that again. A majority of radio listening happens out of home, and majority of podcast listening is at home. So it's becoming a routine for people to participate in it at home. But those are the stats. So like it or not, you might like podcasts, you might not. You might have an opinion that's good, you might have an opinion that's bad, but they're here to stay.
Much appreciated, Stat Man. And I had to switch. I went on ahead and threw the Laker hat on, the Mitchell and Ness. And I'll tell you why I did that. And you know, that was one of Kobe partners right there. One of his business partners.
Mitchell and Ness?
Adidas.
Oh, okay.
Yes, at one point.
Yes,
his first edition shoe was an Adidas. Yes.
First edition was an Adidas. So actually, I have more breaking news as we
which is still a high selling shoe, by the way.
It is. More
Bring
breaking
back
news.
Team Colors, y'all. Bring back Team
Yes,
Colors.
sir.
I didn't mean to cut into Mellow PDC, but I'm tired of seeing the fruity colors of the sneakers, man. The sneaker individuality and all that other stuff, man, that's messing up my vibe, man. You know what I'm saying? I used to gravitate to a team, or I would even just grab a jersey because the team wore a sneaker that was that color, was on the color scheme of the actual. And the NBA used to have that as a policy, and I don't know what made them decide to change that rule.
A lot of folks GOAT. Michael Jordan did it. A lot of folks GOAT made that happen, bro. He was the first one. He was the first one. If you watch the documentary, well, the docu movie the docudrama that they did with Nike, they spoke on it. they bucked his shoe initially because of the colorway. Oh no, we usually like one solid color.
Team color.
Or it gotta be majority white or majority this or whatever. And he came out with his own swag, and they bent to it, and That's what's been going on
And
ever since.
that was really, to me, ingenious, because the team color, it made you identify with a team. Regardless, the NBA makes money off of all the teams. Am I correct? So
Correct.
if and it really, in its heyday, in the golden era of the NBA, if you will, just like we have a golden era of hip hop, we have a golden era of the NBA. Everyone had a colorway. They had a team colorway. Even that's why I still respect the NFL. I respect Major League Baseball, because the colorways of the footwear still are there. They're solid. They're solid team colors. Nobody's going off the cuff and wearing something that's completely off brand. They actually have more pride in the team, and the fan has more pride in the team, in my personal opinion, when you're wearing the colorway. Like if I'm a Houston Rockets fan, I want to wear some shoes that match the jersey, that match the shorts, or that match the polo shirt, that match the hat. You know,
And just to play devil's advocate, because I won't even say it like I'm a big on the like having to be with the team colors. I do kind of like the color of Pagia tell you. Like my favorite shoes are like the up tempos. Like some of my favorite tennis shoes. They come with all kind of different like
colorways,
graffiti colorways. They got some that they did love. One of my favorite ones they did was the love basketball, love and basketball. Like what was it called? Peace, love, and basketball edition up tempos. I love those. Got some, and like I say, it's just. But I get what you're saying for sure from a fashion point. That's the what you would prefer. But I think that's also why they had to open it up, because fashion is so closely, in my opinion, intertwined to art that you can't really sometimes say because that's the. And this is not saying that that's what you're doing. Just saying that that's why they opened up the floodgates to allow you to express your own style of fashion, because it, in a way, is their own art. A lot of times,
that's strictly the juggernaut thing. It just hurt my soul. That's all it does.
And
it just pains my soul, because I remember when I wanted the Converse weapon, the Magic Johnson Converse weapon, because I had a Lakers jersey, and I wanted the Converse weapon black ones because I had a jersey. You know what I mean? And the blue ones if I had the Detroit Pistons. And the green ones, because I think the green one was, and a lot of people don't know this, but I'm about to pull y'all out some historical. The green Converse weapon was worn by Mark Aguirre when he played for the Mavericks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I think another reason that the shoe game just really is in a totally different place now, because fashion is in a totally different place now. Like when you talk about it, you're saying it from an aspect of you want to match a jersey with the shoe. Whereas today, when someone goes to the mall, most kids, I'm telling you for sure, when they buying a shoe, they're trying to match like a polo or a foreign designer shirt that they got, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like jerseys, you'll rock your jersey and you'll want some shoes to match the jersey for sure. You know what I mean? But on a day-to-day, you might want to pull them shoes out and you might have got the colorway because that color is a little bit outlandish, but it matches this outlandish shirt that I just grabbed. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
right,
this combination is finna hit. And that's kind of what, I think it's just a new day when it comes.
It's a new day. It's a new day, and it's respected. I just felt a lot more team pride, and it even made me want to watch that team a little bit more, because I like the shoe color of the team shoe. Like I might not have watched the Sacramento Kings before, but once they came out with that black and that purple, and their shoes had the black and that purple in it, it almost kind of made me feel more connected with that team. It just made me feel like that.
Yep. And I think that's exactly what that's the what they want. That what it accomplished for you, which is making everybody feel together and this, that, and the third, and kind of making the team feel like a cohesive unit. That's what they really wanted. And I think what happened though was that players that were actually a part of it started to get a different aspect than us, the fan, the consumer, because we're consuming it like, yeah, y'all are a team. And then when they go to these meetings and they talking numbers, they realizing, no, it's y'all team. We are individual entities. So
I'll
we
even
have
throw something on top of that, Ant. That's very well said.
yeah, so we have to
Very
now
well
start
said.
trying
I'll
to
throw something on top of it. And this is the era of the trade. So you get comfortable with a player that's on that team. In our era, a lot of the teams kept more of a consistent roster. You didn't have a lot of moving around. And so that same player was going to be back that next year with a shoe that you could identify with that player that had the team color, because you know he ain't going nowhere. He's locked into the Utah Jazz, or he's locked into the other franchise for
into
his
some kind of bad
career.
contract that he doesn't fully
And in this day and
understand,
age,
and that's
they could
how
be
it
going
was.
like the wind in the same
They
season.
don't play that no more. And that's why I say
he
it's
could
a
be going like
different
the wind in
age
the
all
same
around, because they're knowledgeable about, like, they're actually knowledgeable, and they're like really paying attention to, like, let me see what these contracts are entailing. And I know, like, you didn't know, like, I always talk about Scottie Pippen and his contributions to the Bulls dynasty versus the contributions monetarily that the Bulls dynasty paid him. They don't match. It's crazy. And because you will never really see that as much in today's NBA, when people talk and analyze basketball, I think they need to think about that aspect of it as well. The fact that you will never have a Scottie Pippen that will play alongside a LeBron or a Jordan or anybody and say, hey, I am understanding of my value as this all-star, top 50 all-time player, but I am willing to play and stay for crumbs while one individual can amass large contracts.
Exactly.
It'll never happen again.
No, it won't.
Understanding, you have to come into it and judge today's NBA, I think, with a little bit more full context, and realize you're not going to be able to do that. Like, yeah, they was able to go win 6, or Jordan was able to win 3 and then win 3 more, 6. I understand, but it was a lot of vast.
It's almost like it's almost like, if you will, I call it the fruity shoe. It's almost like the fruity shoe almost symbolizes that this guy may be here next year. He might not be here.
Fruity shoe.
Fruity shoe is crazy.
Yeah, hey, that's all good. Actually, speaking of the art of financial security is what I was talking about. I'm going to be doing a podcast workshop. It's just a 1-day workshop, but you know, giving you the real on podcasting, you know, and it's going to be basic. And just to throw some things out there, the way I like interactions, like I want somebody to start their podcast that same day during that show. So that's how, you know, I don't want to sit here and just,
that's the impact.
No. Yeah, I don't want to sit here
that's
and
the
just
impact, man.
Hey,
you can do it.
Started. Yeah.
You can do it. Like I tell people all the time, I said, man, the way that these platforms are set up, and some of them are completely free. You know, you can literally get on your phone, which we always talk to you guys about technology and how powerful the devices are that we have. You know, get on your device and look at things that you can do productive with it outside of sending posts on social media. You know, you can shoot your own videos. We're sitting there watching footage of a music video that the guys are shooting off of a iPhone 13 Pro Max, and the quality was so stunning to me that it almost felt movie-ish, you know. And so, you know, just little things like that. But the podcast thing, you can just download an app real easy, like what I do on my podcast. It didn't cost me anything to start it. I just had to have a topic and an agenda and know where I wanted to go with it, and it became a reality. I guess that's the point that I'm getting at.
Real talk. So definitely
REEL.
Yeah. I'm just going to keep tying it in till it just gets corny.
Righteous.
Real talk, real rap. But no, it actually I think I'm the 6th speaker, I think, and it happens on 8/24, which is Kobe Day. That's why I keep on the Laker hat. 8/24.
Probably should be a national holiday. What you think?
Ooh.
8/24.
Kobe should be the symbol on the ball.
Oh yeah, or something
Yeah, he should be on the symbol on the ball. I'm
on the
just.
warm-up jersey, on something. You know what I mean? Like he should be the symbol for sure.
I
Yep.
like it. I like that idea, fellas.
Yep.
And yes, sir. Let's start a campaign right now.
Yep.
All in favor, say yay. Okay. Kobe coming up on the rock.
Spalding, where you at? Wilson, where you
Absolutely.
at?
Yeah, Wilson.
Wills.
Tap in with us.
Didn't know
There's a
Wilson.
Facebook group called The Art of Financial Security ran by my sister, who is Mizzy Deep. She calls herself the Success Strategist. So if you want to join that group, The Art of Financial Security, hit me up on my Facebook, on LFX Media, the YouTube, and will get you an invite to that group because money, money, money. That's what's on our minds, you know. But definitely
Run it.
the money part of podcasting. A lot of people watch YouTubes. They're watching us right now, LFX Media. Appreciate you guys. Watching videos seems like the that's what gets you the most traffic. People want to see moving objects. So video, boom, that's it. But making money, to give you the real on podcasting, is based on your audio and you placing ads in your audio, post roll, pre roll, you know. So we're going to be getting to some of the basics of podcasting when we do this podcast workshop 8/24. So tune in, you know, like I said, hit me up. I'll send you an invite to the group. And you know, if you got something to say on podcasting, the series isn't just on podcasting. I just fit that topic. You know, we're talking about growing. We're talking about dispensaries, and then I pass the mic to Antho because that's his field. But it's cryptocurrency, forex trading, learning how to distinguish uh, business from personal credit. It's a lot of things that's offered. So hit us up because that's what we're here for. It's assets over liabilities. You know, you
And we're
either
being
asset free.
proactive with these things.
Yes.
And that's the thing, is that we're not just bringing the information to the people. We're actually applying these principles individually, whether it be one aspect of it or another, in our daily lives. Like we're teaching ourselves financial literacy because, and particularly with the people of color in this country, we have a severe gap, if you will, a severe gap of education and application. And so we need to apply and we need to educate ourselves. And that's just that simple.
Agree completely, Brody. That's basically what the goal is, I say. And just like you spoke on, I look forward to speaking on growing and things of that nature, trying to get us, more acclimated and more mindful about things that we eat and how we can be more knowledgeable about what we're eating. And for all my fellow smokers out there, what we smoking, you being mindful, wanting to go with organic growers. If you don't, had the means or the desire to do it yourself and you are buying, try to be mindful and go with organic grows and things of that nature. Let's get back to the earth, bro.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of the earth, can you elaborate on some of the herbal opportunities when it comes to us eating? Can you elaborate on some of that for our? I want to give somebody something that they didn't know. So this would be
And when you say herbal eating, kind of specify what you mean as
base
far as.
basil. The
Oh yeah,
whole garden that you have. That could be in the back. That's just all herbs that can
yeah.
access your daily eats. What's
No
that,
doubt.
good brother? What you
What you got
waiting
going up
for?
there, Pat?
That is called leafy green vegetable, and it's something that I'm pushing with the challenge. Of course, it's the no meat, no dairy, no seafood challenge. And so the goal is to get more plant based and to get the stubborn weight off of you, get the ailments that you may be receiving, because a lot of people don't realize it is what we're eating that does put us in a state of a health crisis, if you will. And so we're on the campaign to sharpen our minds up on what else we can eat that grows out of the ground, that actually is more beneficial to the body, especially our bodies, and then a little bit. And everybody's made up differently, but we do have a set diet that we can follow. A set diet that we can follow and that we can adapt to. And I'm starting to realize there's a lot of foods that are outside of those three things that actually taste pretty good. So I have over here, I have melons. I have, the green leafy. I got the melons. I got, like the mangoes. Like I picked a couple that I like. Mangoes, watermelon, seeded vegetables, of course, seeded fruits, things of that nature. You know what I mean? And I think that it's really, really important for us as a people to educate ourselves, because we can start to cultivate. In the back there, we do have a makeshift. We don't have a plot of land, but we do have, some pots that have, grape, tomatoes, things of that nature. You know what I mean? Growing regular tomatoes, growing greens, actual greens of all kinds, the collards, mustard greens, kale greens, most in particularly, especially for those who convert to plant-based, because through the education I'm learning, that's one of our proteins that we're severely missing, is the protein that comes from the plant. So, I think that it's really, really important. The calcium can come from it. A lot of things can come from it that we didn't think as a whole. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying all of us, because somebody had to educate somebody, right? So, but we're learning. We're learning. And so, and not only that, but to get ourselves out of a mental state, because sometimes your mind operates off of what it is that you are feeding yourself. And a lot of people don't realize that. You know what I'm saying? If you're feeding yourself a bunch of junk, it's more than likely your thought process is going to be junk.
No doubt, no doubt. Yeah, and a lot of times you could also, when you're speaking about the greens, if you don't have a plot of land, that's something else that I'm gonna try to go and do, like a in real time walkthrough with people, to show them the power of microgreens, and how you can just have a corner of your room that you just go get some, like little lights, little small light setups, and little trays that you set out. Go buy you a little package of microgreen seeds. You could put them out right there and grow your own microgreens right there in the corner of your own room, and be able to pull from them directly right there, and have it on hand, and know that you're not having your greens touch this one's hands and touch this one, and have this pesticide put in the soil and had that. That that's not the case, because you're taking it into your own hands and becoming more knowledgeable, even if it's only incrementally at a time. Like I say, starting with the microgreens, finding out how to do that, and then you fall in love with that. You see, oh, okay, this is something that's not difficult at all. And then maybe if you don't have the time to do it yourself, you go and support somebody locally that may have a microgreens business, like I will be launching before the year is out, that will be having the microgreens, and will be more than willing to, for the locals out here, anybody in the area that wants some fresh greens that they know, you can trace it all the way back to where it's been first grew, and grew all organically, with organic worm being right here in place that you can see. All organic elements to it. Everything is organic, and
No pesticides, none of
none of
that
that.
bad stuff. You get the good stuff, and you can find it. You can find it, and there are people just like me and you that grow it.
Exactly.
We don't have to feed it nothing but some water sometimes. A lot of people don't know. Hey, you just feed it some water, it'll give you what you need.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You don't
Very,
necessarily
very
have to load it up with pesticides, and that does put a lot of conspiracy into the FDA in this country, and it does need addressed. What are they actually doing to the food that they're selling us in the supermarket? You know, it would be a hell of a podcast to uncover, you know, some of the secrets that are hiding in our food.
And, yeah, and they have a lot of them. One of the big things that I have a big issue with is the pesticides, more so than the crops, that what they may do to preserve them. That's a whole nother element. After they, then they get it, and then they try to preserve it. These elements that are waxy chemicals that they place on it.
Yes,
it's like
crazy, right?
That's after you've placed the seed inside of soil that you've drenched with pesticide because you don't want to deal with certain bugs. So you've already tainted the product that's growing. And then after it's been tainted from seed, now you're tainting it again. And that's why you're starting to kind of run into
and you think about it, there's no disclaimer when you go to the store that any of that has been done, right? You just looking and saying there's lemons in this. They got lemons in this box. They got the avocado in this box and this, that, and the third. But there's no sticker that says, "Oh, this has been treated this way." No, or that has been treated that way. And we're
even some of these organic, even some of these organic growers, you have to be mindful of some of them because all they have to do is meet whatever requirements are called for to become labeled organic. And sometimes those requirements can be pretty loose and have some runaround and some corners. So like I say, it's best to, if you can, just, learn how to find a way to get it from a source that is being all the way organic with it. And I think that's the first step, is just being mindful that, hey, I have an option to go and support locally or things of that nature and know that I can go to the garden, even things like that. I told on the previous pod that I met with a Muslim group of brothers, and they wanted me to come and educate some of their youth and help them start a little after school program to potentially show kids. Like I said in the last pod, a lot of kids have never seen produce go from seed to harvest. They know an apple comes from a tree because they read a book about an apple tree, not because they've ever been to a farm and actually seen, pulling an apple from an apple tree and seeing that is a fresh apple from an apple. Most kids haven't, you know what I'm saying? That's just not a norm in today's youth. And that's something that I'm pretty big on trying to change the norm on that. Like, let's make that the norm. So let's make knowing what we're eating normal, even though that sounds normal.
Right on.
All right, real quick, brothers. I want to keep this to the hour power we usually do. Let me see how fast you guys can shout out your favorite podcast for people to check out. I'm gonna shout mine out. LFX Media. You can check. You catch us on YouTube all day.
Absolutely. My favorite podcast outside of the one that we're doing, and there's a lot of them, you know what I'm saying, but it would be the one that I'm doing with Miss Toy, which is the Lovely Radio Show.
Solid.
Second favorite is Music Money Makeover, brother named Casey Graham. If you guys are not familiar with him and you're in the music business, I suggest you get down with the Music Money Makeover Show on YouTube.
Oh yeah, shout out EYL. I'm sorry. And
you know where I'm going with mine.
EYL.
I gotta give you
sell more books. I'm an author. Sell more books. Check them out too. Go ahead, Eto.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I gotta shout out EYL. One of my favorites to kind of dive into. I also want to shout out the Uncle Shay Club Shay, bro. I genuinely enjoy the maturation of Shannon Sharp. I always said whenever he was able to kind of divide himself from Skip was definitely not going to be getting too many views from me anymore, because I was always there for Uncle Shay. And I'm not a Skip hater like some, but
that's absolutely correct.
But that's absolutely how I feel. Like I was all in for Uncle Shay Shay. So
Can't be jumping my phone.
nah,
Can't
no
get that.
sir, no sir, can't get that now. So yeah, Uncle Shay Shay, and of course, you know, Drink Champs. I enjoy Drink Champs too. I like how they kind of allow guys that we know, and you kind of, you know, from a celebrity standpoint, you know, you can get that in because I try not to be too infatuated with what other celebs got going, but sometimes it is good to hear some of the legends that from the culture that we know and love, kind of get a real in-depth look into how they kind of came about. And I like how they do it with kind of getting them drunk, getting them a little inebriated, a little high, and then, you know, let the good times roll. So yeah, those the ones I would say off top. And there's plenty of other ones, man. All the smoke, I rock with y'all. You know, not so much a podcast, but my guys there at Build a Soil as well. Show me all my, you know, tricks of the trade as far as how I like to go about soil building and things of that nature. So yeah, rock with those guys too. Salute to them. Go check them out. Build the Soil, buildthesoil.com.
Without a doubt. So I am your host, Paji Carter. I'm gonna sign off for the Cousin B King, J Pad, the Juggernaut. Go check out his single. Uh, I think
Tyrant. The
I
song
think
is called Tyrant.
we all be on some tyranny because we the content kings.
Yes, sir. You
We're gonna
know,
put it in the chokehold. You understand me?
Mm. So
real deal,
it's
real deal.
signing out for my guys and through the great A. If you didn't know, now you know. We will see you on the next show.